Hello, friends. I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. Thank you for all the comments yesterday. I really, really appreciate it. And I also realized I had to re-listen to the episode. That's another thing I very rarely do. I almost never listen to myself. But I had to re-listen to it to hear a few things that I said. And I found it funny that a video with me talking about how great my life was turned into a whining video about not having anything to talk about because my life was so good. Definitely some irony there. But I got lots of really good comments. Thank you everybody. I appreciate it. I really do. And I appreciate all of it. But Jonathan asked a whole bunch of cool questions, which I think there will be. I think I'll do some videos about these questions next week because I think that some of them are really good. Some of them, one in particular about the lawn guy. We're not going to talk about it today, and there'll be a very good reason why next week. We'll talk about it next week. Yeah, that's a story. That's a whole story, and I might just retell the story or reframe the story. He did ask about this. He said, "How long until you get to see this project?" Well, here you can see this part of it. This part's done. This I should finish this either tonight or tomorrow. He said, "Is it a picture frame, a shadow box, or something else?" It's kind of all of the above. This is. I don't think this is my idea. I mean, I've made this before. Hopefully I'll remember to put a picture of this thing in over here that you cannot see. Can you see it? No, you can't see it. It's just off camera. When I was doing postcard exchanges, I made a little like hanging thing to put postcards on, and I wanted to do that for pictures. So this is going to be a picture frame, but it is also stood off from the wall like an inch and a quarter. And there will be lights in it. Not necessarily. The pictures won't be on the wall. The pictures will be. Yeah, you'll have to see it. It's going to be. I don't know if it's going to work. The lights were not my idea. The lights were Malia's idea. I was going to make a frame with either pieces of wire or string or something like that, and then you would clip photos to it, like printed pictures. And I thought it'd be a cool thing to have, like in the hallway or something that we walk past regularly. And when I take new pictures that we like, we could change them out and rotate. So you'll see this very soon. I got the last bit today. I wanted to. These are just simple 2-pin connectors for the power source for the lights. The lights, I bought a whole bunch of stuff. When we had this idea, when she had the idea of doing lights, we went to Walmart and found, it was during Christmas time, so we got a bunch of discounted battery-powered Christmas lights, and they all come with these big, fat AAA cell battery packs, and I didn't want to make a frame that was big enough to accommodate one of those battery packs, so I ended up buying linear 3 cells that will hide in here much easier. So I'll be able to hide this. There'll be a switch in the frame. So I'm going to cut off the battery packs and attach some 2-pin connectors because I don't know that the lights are going to work out. They might not. Don't know. But the cool thing is with the connectors, it's not destructive. I'm going to clip the battery pack off and save it. And then if I want to use those lights for something else and I don't like the length of I can always make it longer. Whatever. You'll see this very, very soon. Probably Monday or something. I don't know. It depends on what I do with these book videos. I think I'm done reading for a while. I mean, I'm currently reading a book, but I don't think I'm going to be doing 2 or 3 books a week like I have been this year. Next week is softball starts. So, I mean, softball has already started. Next week is the start of the season, and we have 4 games next week, so there'll be very little time for me to sit and just chill. So same problem I had last year when I ran into this time. It was just like suddenly my life is very, very busy. It's going to be that way for a couple of months. So I don't think I'm going to be reading 3 books a week or 2 books a week to talk about. So I finished a book last week that we might review next week, and I'll finish the book that I'm reading today, probably tonight or tomorrow. It's going along pretty quick, but I don't know that I'm going to keep that pace. And in fact, I feel like I'm going to start reading Wheel of Time again. Going to get through that series someday, and those go slow. They're hard to read, harder to read than like the popcorn thrillers I've been reading lately. Those little cool little thrillers, they're fun, but whatever. So we'll talk about some of these other things that Jonathan asked, because I think I can make full videos out of those. But I'm again, if I realize that the video turned into a woe is me, my life is too good to make content. That's just not the case, right? Woe is me, I've been too lazy to make interesting content. I've had 2 months to just chill. I mean, almost 3 months to just whatever. And it's been fantastic, and we've seen lots of concerts, and we're going to more concerts. We have concerts. I think we have at least one coming up next month, one the month after that. We're traveling for some of these, concerts, which we'll talk about when that time comes. We're preparing for the next year. We've got the cruise again. We're going back on the cruise. We've got a wedding in Jamaica to go to. So there's going to be travel next month or next year. I've got to plan out Gen Con for Portal Games and get that all sorted. So there's a lot going on that I could talk about, but it's kind of like that's spread out. That's not 5 days a week of content. And of course, I haven't had 5 days of a week of content for 7 years, but we keep doing it. I'd like to figure out, again, yes, like I said yesterday, just want to figure out a way to like make it a little bit more interesting. And I know we've talked a lot about, everybody has mentioned more about my area. Let's get the camera outside. Let's, different settings other than here. The thing is, I don't go anywhere. Like I'm a homebody. Part of the reason I don't really play board games like I used to is because I don't want to go somewhere to play board games. I used to want to be anywhere but here or my previous house, but that was just due to my ex. Like, I didn't want to be near her ever. So any chance I had to get away was just let's go. Now I have absolutely no reason to leave my house. Everything I want in the world is right here. My kids, my wife, my dog, my food, my toys, my things, my books, my whatever. It's all right here. So I don't go anywhere. I go on a daily walk, and I guess I could take the camera with me every day. That has been expanding lately. I started doing about a mile last year. It was around this time because I was having back issues, and they closed the park that I normally walk to. They have it torn apart because they're building new infrastructure or new stands and stuff. So I can't do my normal walking path, it was really 9/10 of a mile. So I've had to take a different route, and the different route is at least a quarter mile longer. So I'm walking like a mile and a quarter now every day, which isn't, whoop these shit, right? No big deal. But it's like a 20-minute, I don't walk slow. So I'm walking like a solid 20 minutes, just pounding it out. It might even be like a mile and a half. I don't know. But it's a different route, and it's much longer. Takes me much longer. And that's been good. So, we could film that every day and just talk over it. But part of the thing for me doing this has always been that there's no editing. This is just an off-the-cuff kind of thing, and I think sitting here in front of the camera with no visible cuts emphasizes that. I'm not editing what I say. I'm not planning what I say. I don't know. To me, there's something charming about that. That's not the real word I'm looking for, but there's something. That means something. I don't know what it is or if it means anything that's important, but to me, I feel like that means something. I could be completely wrong and probably am. You'll let me know. Anyway, weekend. My kid is at States for theater. So they get done with that tomorrow, and she'll be back. And then I think she's going to have a little softball practice tomorrow night, so she can get her number of practices. And I have some things I need to do for friends. I promised some friends I would help out this weekend. I got to see my dad, that kind of stuff. So I've got a busy-ish weekend, but we'll be finishing this. What do you got going on? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again Monday. Today's word you should know how to sound smart is umbrage. It is a noun meaning to take exception and to be offended by a comment or action seen as a slight or insult. I take umbrage with people who post comments on my blog that are patently false, Bob said. Umbrage, U-M-B-R-A-G-E. Umbra and umbrage. Interesting. One of those pairs of words that share word parts but basically zero meaning. Whatever.